look at the number 7,863. First, let's round it to the nearest 10. That means we're interested in deciding which multiple of 10 is the closest to this number. Our choices are 60 and 70. As I estimate where 63 is on this number line between 60 and 70, I can see that 63 should round down to 60. So 7,863 rounded to the nearest 10 is 7,860. If I were to round this number to the nearest 100, I would be interested in finding which multiple of 100 is the closest to this number. 863 is between 800 and 900. After estimating where 863 lies on this number line, it's clear to see that 7,863 rounded to the nearest 100 is 7,900. Now let's round our number to the nearest 1,000. Our choices for answers when rounding to the nearest 1,000 are the multiples of 1,000 that this number is between. So on the smaller end, our choice is 7,000, and on the larger end, the larger multiple of 1,000 is 8,000. When I estimate where 7,863 is on this number line, I can see that it is closer to the larger multiple of 1,000, which is 8,000. Therefore, 7,863 rounded to the nearest 1,000 is 8,000. Now let's round 46,309 to the nearest 1,000. Our choices for answers would be 46,000 and 47,000. The halfway point between the two multiples of 1,000 is 46,500. When I estimate where 46,309 lies on this number line, I can see that it is closer to 46,000 than 47,000. 46,309 rounded to the nearest 1,000 is 46,000. When we look at a number like 8,503, we can look in the hundreds place to determine whether it should round up to the larger multiple of 1,000 or down to the smaller multiple of 1,000. Remember that 500 is the halfway point between multiples of 1,000. Since 503 is greater than 500, this number will round up to the larger multiple of 1,000, which is 9,000. In 33,499, we need to remember that 500 and greater will round up, and 499 is less than 500. 499 is the cutoff spot to round down when rounding to the nearest 1,000. 33,499 rounds down when rounding to the nearest 1,000 to 33,000.
Rounding to the nearest 1,000. Tell me which multiple of 1,000 is the closest. Rounding to the nearest 1,000. Tell me which multiple of 1,000 is the closest. Rounding to the nearest 1,000.